We live in a world that idealizes instant result and drastic changes. Everything is about going viral, getting rich faster, and transforming overnight. And that naturally pushes people to set big and ambitious goals. While there's nothing wrong with setting big and ambitious goals, I've noticed something about myself and others as well. When we set huge goals and we don't stick to them, we start to question ourselves, like what is wrong with us, why we can't follow through. But what if the issue isn't us and the issue is the way we approach change? The system is broken. One of the most important lessons I've learned this year is that you won't be able to change your life until you change what you do daily. And it's not about the huge leaps, it's about the tiny and consistent steps. And the key to your success is hidden in your daily habit, what you do when no one's watching, what you repeat every single day, even when you don't feel like it. And that's what this video is all about. It's about the tiny and consistent habits that shifted my perspective, my mindset, and my confidence. And trust me, these are real habits rooted in real life, not fantasy. Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. My name is Sarah. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My mission is to help you improve, inspire, and impact your own life and the lives of those around you. Whether you're starting fresh, leveling up, or just curious about how to live your best life, think of this channel as your go-to guide for motivation, inspiration, and real life tools to make those big dreams of yours happen. So without further ado, let's jump into this topic and start implementing little habits that are gonna really impact our lives. First habit first, that I talk to myself like I'm my own best friend. For most of my life, I measured my worth by what I could achieve. The more I got done, the more people clapped for me. So that was the pattern: get things done, receive kindness. So I became hyper ambitious, but also emotionally disconnected. I learned to suppress my feelings, disregard my accomplishment, and to always chase what's next. Gratitude for myself, I didn't have time for it because in my head, I hadn't done enough yet. But it all started to collapse in adulthood. The pressure, the pace, the way I spoke to myself. I realized that I was my own biggest critique. I would look at women who were confident, soft spoken, powerful, and wonder, why can I be like this? And then one day I asked myself a simple but life changing question: would I ever talk to my best friend like this? And I got my answer through a friend of mine, through someone actually, a friend of mine from medical school. She came to me struggling, overwhelmed. She was studying in a language she didn't understand, and she was ready to give up. Instead of judging her, I listened to her, I encouraged her, I even made a schedule for her. I showed up with love, sweat, and tears because I didn't want her to give up on her dreams of saving lives. And then it hit me: why don't I treat myself like this? So I started to shift that slowly but gently. So now that when I miss something or I wake up late, instead of saying to myself, Isira, you are lazy, why you can follow your plan, I tell to myself, Isira, you are doing your best. Let's try again tomorrow. I speak to myself like I would speak to my own daughter, with patience, with grace, with softness, with compassion. And this one habit changed how I speak to myself. I started to rebuild confidence from the inside out, and it helped me stand taller and trust my voice. And most importantly, it helped me believe in myself again. It's number two, the 5 minute start rule. I used to think motivation would magically come one day, and it never did. I kept waiting for this perfect wave of energy to hit me, but all I got was guilt and unfinished project. I do actually get motivated time to time. The more I'm excited about something, the more motivated I am. And the reality is, I'm someone with multiple passions, with many passions. I call myself like a multi-potential person. I never wanted to do just one thing for the rest of my life. One day I want to launch something new, or I want to something, create something, and the next day I feel like I want to write a book, or even with my 9 to 5 duties. I have many passions, and I used to think that was a flaw. Why can't I stick to just one path? Until someone told me one day, Yasira, you are multi-potential, and instead of beating yourself up for it, use it as a strength. And the reality is, the more, if you are someone who has many ideas, many dreams, many goals, it's very easy to feel overwhelmed and also lose track or feel unmotivated if you don't have a very good system that you are following. So I created, because I always went for the hardest thing. So I created a very simple and tiny habits, the 5 minute start rule. Doesn't matter, I'm working on my certifications with my 9 to 5 duties, or like creating contents, editing something, reading a book, going to the gym. I tell to myself, girl, you don't have to do it all at once. You just have to start somewhere. Just start for 5 minutes. And trust me, this 5 minutes turn more often into 45 minutes, 60 minutes, or even up to 90 minutes. But it doesn't really matter. Even if it doesn't go up to 90 minutes, I still feel proud of myself because I showed up for myself. And honestly, you don't have to choose something if you are someone with many passions and dreams or goals. You don't have to choose just one thing. You just have to have the right system and know from where to start. And I think starting with 5 minutes, I think it's the best way to follow your plan. Habits number three, stop begging for opportunities. There was a time I used to chase every single thing actually. I would over apply to jobs, over explain myself in conversation, trying so hard to convince people of my point of views. But the truth is I'm not even built like this. I'm someone who lives in her own world. You won't know what I want unless I tell you. And I'm very selective with what I choose to share and who I share it with. I've always wanted good things in my life, like anyone else. Nobody wakes up in the morning and hope for struggle and rejections. And because I love challenges, I always went after the hard things. But when I get rejected, it hurt deeply, not because I wasn't used to hearing no, but because I wasn't used to go after things that didn't want me. And honestly, I'm just not the type to beg. And I would rather cry, journal, but I will never beg. I can go after career opportunities, but I would never beg for people actually. Never. And it's like if you don't want me, that's okay. Someone else will. It doesn't matter if it takes time, years, or whatever. I will be patient and rather accept, or like rather wanting to be chosen with grace. And I don't care if it takes years, honestly. One day I just stopped. I stopped chasing, convincing people, over explaining myself, and I chose to build on silence to sharpen my skills and just to trust that the right people, the right platforms, and also the right moment will come when I'm mentally, spiritually, and physically ready to claim them. Because let's be honest, sometimes we think that this is our only option. That's why we want to chase or want to beg people. But staying in a toxic environment doesn't just only delay your growth, but it also blocks what is actually meant for you. And since I made that shift, trust me, the difference has been real. Opportunities started finding me. People reached out, collaborations showed up from nowhere. Why? Because when you stop chasing, you become magnetic. And now I live by this. I will wait, I will work hard, but I will never chase something that doesn't want me or someone that doesn't want me. I'm not here to remind anyone of my word. If it's mine, it will find me, and that's it, period. Habits number four, the energy audit. One of the best habits I've ever created for myself is what I call now an energy audit. Not just who's in my life, not just looking at who's in my life, but also at what I consume, the music I listen to, the people I entertain. And there were days I felt drained for no clear reason, and I hadn't done even something major, but I was tired, irritable, and also inspired. And then it clicked because I was giving just away my energy to things and people that didn't even feed me. So now I ask myself before saying yes to anything, does this add peace or chaos in my life? If it's chaos, then no. It's a simple no. No to small talk that feels fake, no to gossip, no to endless scrolling, endless explanation, and endless pouring with no return. I found meaning in solitude, and I genuinely love it. I want to come home after a long day at work, lay in my bed, and actually feel at peace with myself and with the people I allow into my life, in my life. And listen, I wasn't always like this. I used to be arrogant type of girl or proud, quick to speak, and slow to listen, but growth humbled me. It taught me to listen more, to feel more, and to be intentional, to be more intentional about the energy that is around me. And so, right now, I don't care who you are, if you're not adding any meaning into my life, then it's a hell no, I'm not choosing you. And I actually learned that protecting my energy, it's not a weakness. It's actually my superpower. And even if you're not matching that energy, then I just have to ask, what do you really want? Because space is expensive and I'm not letting anyone bankrupt mine. Habit number 5, invest in myself first. I used to spend money emotionally on fast fashion, takeouts, and little things that gave me quick dopamine hits, but left me empty. It felt good at the moment, but later I would sit there and wondering, why do I still feel stuck or feel empty? And now, before I spend anything, my time, my energy, my and even my money, I ask myself, does this help me grow as a person or just distract me? That question alone changed my whole mindset. There is a quote I love to say. I don't know who said it, but I think I got it on social media or like Pinterest something. If you work hard on your work, sorry, if you work hard on your work, you will make a living. But if you work hard on yourself, you will make a fortune. And I took that personally. I started to pouring into myself. I invested in project management courses, leadership training, content creation skills, and building my brand, finding my voice. Because here's what I believe now: you are your own biggest asset. And when I started to treating myself like one, my life started to multiply. Yes, self-improvement can feel overwhelming. You're constantly looking at what can I accomplish next. But understand this, if you don't invest in yourself emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, then you won't be able to change actually your life. It's not just about the books and coaching. It's about the food you eat, the people you entertain, the content you consume, how you spend your day, and all of these are just component of how a great life looks or like is built. And I'm not perfect yet, but now I see every small investment in myself as a seed. I plant those seeds daily, knowing that the version of me I'm becoming is worth every bite of it. Habit number 6, silent speak. One of the deepest, most healing habits I've learned is to let silence speak. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. You don't need to constantly prove your value or defend yourself or even your boundaries, especially if you're like me, or you grew up in an environment where you had to explain yourself all the time, why you made a mistake, why you reacted a certain way, why you did this, why you did that. That kind of upbringing teaches you to over explain yourself, and you carry that into adulthood, feeling like every move you make needs a justification. But healing begins when you reconcile with your inner child and say, you don't owe anyone a defense. You're just allowed to be. I started letting people reveal who they are. I stopped filling actually the space with noise. When I speak just when it's necessary, but I observe more. And let me tell you, silence has taught me more about people than words ever did. Because the truth is, people love to talk about themselves, and give them space, and they will reveal actually who they are. Let your silence be your presence and be the filter. Watch how people treat you when you're no longer trying to perform or trying hard to be understood. And honestly, you don't need to announce your word, need to carry it quietly and confidently. And I promise silence will do the talking for you. You would be surprised how much clarity it brings. These are just few of the habits that I've built on my journey of self-improvement, healing, and learning to be more compassionate with myself. If you want to change your life, don't wait for things to get drastic. You don't have to hit rock bottom. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You just start with what already exists, improve upon what already exists. You just start with what you have. You already have the idea of a better version of you, and that's enough. Start with 5 minutes. Tomorrow, 5 minutes again and again and again, and then you go on. And because real change isn't loud, it's all about consistency. And always remember, it's not them versus you, it's you versus you. And that's the only battle that matters. And the good news is you have what it takes to win. You have it within you. You just got to show up for it. And if this video spoke to you, made you feel seen, or resonated with you, comment down below, share with someone that needs to hear this, and subscribe, because we're just getting started. You deserve to become everything that you aspire or you're capable of, and let's keep growing, let's keep shining together. See you in the next video.